Tappa Film Production House. Tappa Film Production House. Tappa Film Production House. Tappa Film Production House. Yo, 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 yo. Sorry I'm late today. Oh, sorry I'm late today. Whoa, hey, pan. Pan, 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 pan. Tilt, tilt, tilt. Roll, roll. Pedestal, pedestal. Truck, truck. Extreme close up. What's going on, people? What is up? How's it going? Welcome to a hump day. Hump day, Wednesday. That's it. We're over the hump. Over the hump, especially since we have a Friday off this week. Oh boy. So, make it worth it. I don't know if you guys have checked out the IG lately, but I just recently put on my recipe of motion, so you guys get a little bit of inspiration, hopefully. I like that piece quite a bit. But you could see, my glasses are a little crooked. You could see that, yeah, it's a little interesting, Take a peek. You can see that you don't necessarily have to do a physical recipe or something that is literally a recipe of like oodles and noodles or stuff like that, but you can actually do something quite abstract if you feel like it. So, welcome, welcome, welcome to the real Marcoux. Oh boy, so glad I did that episode yesterday because, wow, these things got really mangled. I gotta do some fixing on this one. Maybe I'll wear it like a monocle. Actually, it would make a pretty neat monocle. I don't know if it's working anymore. Part of the game. I've got my daughters, they're using my workstation over here so for their distance learning, and they get a little crazy. So that's the way it goes sometimes, But, your boy's here. Hey, what's going on? The real Oscar making it happen. Had a little bit of a last minute start today. Got into a conversation with my neighbor. What's up, the real Matthew? Yo. It's in the mail, buddy. It's in the mail. Wife's dropping it off, so should be arriving as soon as snail mail takes over, all right? But yeah, actually, I could do this. This is kind of neat. Let's see if I can get this piece up. Oh yeah, that's what I was working on. What's up, you set? How's it going, man? So this is my real distant recipe that's playing down in the bottom there. That's pretty cool. I could play video while I do this. And yeah, that was my recipe of motion. So I had these molded shells from scarabs and stuff like that I basically put in mason jars, and I was twisting them around, and I set up the camera. I was pulling focus, and you see that ramping film reel that happens right up there. Oh, cool. I'm glad you like it, man. And yeah, so that was a piece that I just posted on the IG. I really like it. It's color graded, a little different. I put reds in the shadows and blues in the midtones. So that way it had like a different feel than the typical trend, which is, you know, um, blue in the shadows and orange in the midtones tends to be a trend nowadays. So I was trying to break that paradigm, trying to break that trend a little bit. We see a lot of people doing shallow depth of field stuff nowadays. So that's cool and it looks pretty, but sometimes it's neat to do something completely different. That's how you make a mark. Actually, I did want to show you guys another piece too. Right now, if you're watching the YouTube, you can see I have Jonathan F's countdown piece going over there. So that's a pretty neat piece that's happening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's that countdown. Remember, you have the real definition that you have to get done, but the new assignment is this one that I'm going to play one more time. It's the recipe of motion. So you have to make a real distant recipe. It's up for interpretation. You can go whatever direction you feel like makes sense for you. Think about your concentration, what style you're going for, what technique you're trying to explore, and that'll be a cool route for you. But basically, we're just creating video sketchbooks. We're creating video portfolios that are kind of showing our time. So yeah, over the past couple weeks, I've been working on this, and I kind of like this. This is it's kind of tough to see it over here. There we go. So I made this poster up here. That's a poster for a virtual rave that's going to be going on. If you guys are interested, go to tv.insomniac.com. Adobe Creative, the Adobe Creative Tour. They put forth these challenges, and this was for creating a flyer for their virtual raves. So techno music, I'm into it. I'm a late 90s freak. So, they wanted a poster and they gave you a certain amount of pictures that you had to use. So I spent about a week and a half just like grinding out this piece right here. I put in the EDC is their the group that's going to be playing and stuff like that. And yeah, I basically like I tweaked and tweaked and tweaked this thing up until the wee hours of the night. This kind of all on my smartphone too. I made this entirely on my smartphone using a couple Adobe apps. I used Adobe Fix. You can actually get Adobe Photoshop. What is it called? Photoshop something. It's free. Photoshop. Oh, my brain's farting. Part of the game when you get this thing started soon. But check it out. You can see, if you look up Photoshop on your app store, you'll find the free version of Photoshop. Oh, it's going to come to me soon. Photoshop Fix is the paid one. But if you have struggle trying to get that, just get me up in a DM and maybe I can set you up. I have some tricks here and there. Oh, yeah, officially, just for YouTube's sake, this is for educational purposes only. Noticed I got flagged trying to start a stream this week. I think it could have been a result of, I don't know. I played a couple jams, but this is educational purposes only. And I didn't play that much, and it was all off my computer, so the sound quality wasn't optimum or anything like that. But I think someone flagged me. I think it's because I flagged some comment that was in my thread that was clearly inappropriate. So it's probably a retaliatory flag, I feel like. Either that or some student who's trying to mess with me. I don't think it's you guys. I don't think it's you guys. But yeah, so I made this piece. I thought it was pretty cool. And hopefully, if I get in there, there's like a $400 prize, whatever. Yesterday was kind of fun. We did some stuff. I was showing you guys my ALS challenge from years ago where I dumped an ice bucket on my head, and that was kind of hilarious. You can see, hey Kevin, how you doing? So you can see kind of that stuff right there. That's me getting the ice dumped on my head. And yeah, those poor glasses. Ugh, those poor glasses, they're done. They're done. I'm going to have to fix those. I don't know. My daughter said she'd fix them for me. We'll see. We'll see about all that. But yeah, so kind of a interesting morning. Got started a little late. Again, I was talking to my neighbors. We were talking about like the state of events right now, trying to get to the store and everything. It seems to have loosened up a little bit. Went to the supermarket and they weren't like doing the announcement like, we are in a COVID scenario, watch out for your distance and stuff like that. Instead, they were playing music. So I thought that was kind of encouraging that at least out in the public, people were feeling a little bit better and not like they were under martial law or something like that. Interesting times we live in. But you know what? This is easy. This is easy compared to World War I, World War II, the Great Depression. Be grateful, folks. Be grateful. I don't know who to be grateful to, and really, you don't have to be too grateful. But understand that we're in a much lighter scenario than a lot of times. Like I graduated my senior year in college, and bam, 9/11. Crazy. That's serious violence. So I know we're all trying to stay at home and we're all getting stir crazy, but I don't want to say it could get worse, but yeah. So we just got to be careful. We got to be survivors, and that's what filmmakers are. We are survivors. I did want to play in the background. Powell. I have a shout out to the Real 185 Project. You're graduating this week, I heard. I want to know when your virtual walk is there, Presto. 185 Project. Follow the 185 Project. Follow Lens the Cameraman. Follow Purple Step. Those are some fantastic dudes. Yeah, follow the Real Bella. I haven't seen you in a while. The Real Donnie. I should be seeing some 9th graders today, but we're really kind of lacking on the 9th grade support here. You guys better get to work. But yeah, no pressure. Pressure. Yeah, so if you're watching the YouTube, you're seeing my ALS challenge, and this is kind of funny because this is some slow motion that I shot. I shot at 96 frames per second, and I ramped it. So it's normal motion, and then I ramp it. All right, let's see if we can play this. that's a wet dog Marcoux right there. Wet dog. You know, it was interesting because when I was doing slow motion in my camera, it doesn't give you audio. So what I did was I set up a zoom recorder up in that tree. It's hanging from a branch that's right next to me. So I also had to first I had to sync the sound and the video, and then I had to slow down the sound as well. So it captures this kind of slow motion sound, which I think adds to the hilarity of the actual challenge itself. And wow, what a skinny, disgusting looking wet Marcoux that is. Oh boy. I embarrass myself too much for you guys sometimes. Let's see if we can do it. Oh, 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 oh. Oh. Gotta give people a reason to watch. Gotta give people a reason to watch. Gotta give people a reason to watch. Watch. Yo. Oh, there's that moment. Yo, if you're watching the YouTube, you're getting some great hilarity out of this. Oh, so it's interesting how the water kind of encompasses my head. Ooh, you can see it almost creates like a astronaut helmet or something around my head. Boop, boop, boop. There's that moment. It is hitting my head. Wearing the King Bob shirt. I love Bob Marley. One of my favorites. If you like reggae music, go check out Lee Scratch Perry. That man's a monster. Money, 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 money is the root of all evil. I love that song. Yo. Oh. I think I'm gonna do like video DJing. Like I definitely am doing my own virtual rave down the line. Definitely doing a virtual rave. So look for me at like 2 in the morning one of these days. And I think I'm gonna remix a video, like kind of like DJs. You got them scratching and stuff like that, but maybe I'd be. I don't. Well, I have a turntable, but I don't want to scratch it because I like my records. I like my needles. But yeah, that was a fun little journey to do. Here it goes in real motion, real slow motion. Let's see it again. Kind of sounds like Chewbacca. Yo, I hope you guys enjoyed your May the 4th be with you. That was a lot of fun. My daughters got to see The Rise of Skywalker for the first time. I'm loving The Mandalorian. Notice if you got the Disney Plus, I don't know if you do, but they've been showing making of The Mandalorian, which has been pretty cool. Pretty cool. My daughters are lucky today. They have the day off from distance learning. Lucky girls. So those kids are lucky. And lucky kids. They're watching Bewitched downstairs, if you can hear the music. But yeah, I'm playing on the YouTube. That's my real distant recipe. And you can see how I was like kind of manipulating those shadows to be red and the midtones to be blue. So color grading can go a long way, and color grading could be your concentration. Remember, we are building towards pieces that eventually we want to show online. We're definitely going to have some virtual film shows towards the end of this year to make up for like loss of Arts Fest and stuff like that, loss of PVD Fest, loss of all these great performative elements, these events that we've been major part of. And so we got to do it virtually. We got to take over the internet. And we are kind of taking over because we are an XQ Super School, and we're going to be on May 16th on Fox, CBS, NBC, ABC. I heard that like Obama might be doing some kind of special school event that night. I wonder what that is. LeBron James too. Jonas Brothers, they're okay. I mean, I filmed them once. They're pretty cool. And I hate their music, but what are you going to do? Oh man, I keep dissing all these like major stars that I want to like make a music video with anyways. But yeah, shout out to 36 Cinema. It's a Wu-Tang thing that they're doing like Shaolin movies like narrated by the Jizza. The RZA? Oh, the RZA. Yep. So, yeah. I have a let's see. Oh man, I wish I could show you guys some of the other work that came in through the pipeline. I'll probably show that tomorrow, but the real Alec had some awesome stuff. Follow him. I know he's a private account, so you'll have to get authorized by the real Alec to see it. Check out the real Ray. The real Ray got the first rough cut of his senior film. So it's looking like, and don't quote me on this, but I think June 11th is going to be our big senior show. So make sure you tune into that. It's we're going to figure out particulars, and I'll have a flyer for that relatively soon. But yo, these seniors, they're monsters. So check that out, particularly for your juniors, because you guys are going to be doing your own senior film next year. And now that you're doing the concentration now, you have more time to work on your thesis film. So I expect like crazy feature films from you guys next year. I think you're gonna do it. That being said, the seniors this year, oh boy, big inspiration. Big inspiration. Big shout out to the real Jovan. Big shout out to the real Efrel. Big shout out to the real Ray. Big shout out to the real Pat F. Big shout out to the real Aiden. Big shout out to the real Azarius. Big shout out to the real Jonathan. I probably missed somebody. I don't know. There's 7 students. They're all sick. You see that dust? The camera's pretty good to pick up that little fleck of dust that just went across my face. Dust is in the air. It's crazy these times, like they definitely changing the way you're thinking about like being out in the social world and stuff like that. I want to start designing some bodysuits. I want to start designing some like cool face masks. I like the bandana look. I love, being like a gangster cowboy kind of in the stores. It's funny, you have all these people walking in with masks. They look like they're gonna rob the place, but they're just wearing masks because they were told to. Um, so yeah, we need to come up with some cool mask designs. So because apparently, even if we come back to school next year, we got to be wearing masks. So we better get creative with it. So I look forward to seeing some unique masks. Got a bunch of gas masks over here, but they're a little dusty, and I don't know how well they save lives, but they're definitely not N95. What are you gonna do? Yo. So, anyways, going into some work here. Let's see if I could show some work. We're 25 minutes in, folks, so we've had a pretty robust show as it is. Do have some meetings coming up a little later, but much rather do this. Anyways, yeah, I'll show you guys maybe some time lapse stuff. You guys seen some time lapse stuff, but I like to film the stars. Time lapse could be your concentration as well. Maybe you're thinking about like setting up your camera in one place and like taking that shot every day for the next like months of quarantine or whatever like that. Simple things like shadows changing on walls can be really interesting. Shout out to the real Danielle North from WPRI. I used to work at WPRI for about 5 years doing graphics and camera. And one thing that she used to do that was very fascinating was she would always track the sun because, as you know, the sun angle changes on the earth. So she used to have a wall that she would change, keep drawing kind of the changes of the light as time went by. So she would know like when the sun was coming close to being summer, paying attention to the solstice. So I thought that was really cool idea. Again, she captured that over months, just with a pencil. Pencil is your best piece of technology, in my opinion. So, when you're doing a recipe, you could also be doing a blueprint for a bigger film, an animatic, perhaps. An animatic is a storyboard that's paced to the pace of what your film concept may be. So, anything like that is pretty cool to engage. Yeah, yeah, shout out to the real Pat F. I love that picture. That's so cool. Shout out to you, the real Matthew. Shout out to, the real you set had a pretty fantastic piece for his countdown. Woo! Disappears. Woo! There he's back. And then he slips out. I love how he does that blinking effect that kind of like hides his illusion, which is a great job right there. Great job. Shout out to the real you set. Shout out to Purple Step. He's been joining all week. You follow him on IG. He's doing some fantastic things. He's made his mark 1,000 viewers, and he's only had like 10 posts. I've had probably 1,000 posts and probably like 97 viewers. Or followers. I need 3 more. Give me 3 more, please. I need the hundo. And but yeah, I'm not gonna beg. I'm not gonna beg. That's pretty pathetic. Yo. What are you going to do? Shout out to art history. Shout out to art history. Shout out to art history. Watch some art history. Look at some art history. Look at your cubisms. Look at your frontalisms. Look at your surrealisms. Create your ism. Create your movement. Karstism. George Méliès. Alfred Hitchcock. Look at some films. Watch some stuff. We got this other piece. I think I showed it a long time ago, but we'll show it again. This is a piece I did for my father-in-law. He had a marine consignment shop where they worked on boats. I did a lot of slow-mo and swaying action. I worked with a Steadicam, a glide cam. So maybe you can rig your camera to do some interesting camera movement. That's a great concentration. And that's really big part of my own artistic mindset is how do I play with camera movement or the mistakes within camera movement to create my own camera movements. So this, I was just trying to showcase the store, the different stuff that you could get at that store, compasses and stuff for value. You know, as you know, if you're into boats or anything like that, boats are expensive. So it's great to save a little bit of money there. But anyways, this business is not there anymore. However, I figured it was a good example to show you for advertising because in this new field that we're in, when it comes down to what people are going to need as a from a cinematographer or an editor, well, you can knock on shops and be like, hey, you need a commercial? Everything's online now. So the more video content or visual content that they have, stimulating content, that's going to provoke money, right, in their pocket. So I feel like the more we can reach out to local businesses and kind of democratize video production, that's a big way for freelancers to start building their businesses, particularly younger cats, because even with these phones, you can get quite nice quality. And remember, content is queen, folks. Content is queen. Sometimes it's not necessarily the best camera that you have. Sometimes it's all about what your idea is, most of the time. Straight up. Anyways, that was that. Yeah, I like shadow puppets. Shadow puppets are fun. That could be a concentration. These are my daughters doing some shadow puppets in fast motion. Alright, that was pretty cool. Macroscapes, so if you want to get really close up on things, you know, play a little bit of that. What is that going on? Alright, play that in the background. Cool. Yeah, I don't have much music for you today. I'm kind of playing things out a little bit. I need to start making some new music because, copyright's a thing. And I need to get around it. And I think maybe I could create some beats. I don't know. I used to do it years ago with my buddy, James Reed. Shout out to the real James Reed, sick musician right there. Working with Cubase and a Triton keyboard. But there's so much you could do. Like, I can make music on my phone nowadays. So it's like, why not? I think I might delve into that a little bit. Or sometimes I like to take, like, orchestra music and, like, play it in slow-mo or reverse it. And then you get these really interesting sounds. I love the sound of things in slow motion. They're, like, very ambient. So, might be a thing that I partake in or a thing that you may partake in. Hey, seniors, think about that for your scores because, sound is like 90% of the filmmaking experience. It really is because sound has to be good for people to watch. But, think about maybe making some original sound scores. That could be very cool, you know? You get a sip of this cold coffee. Stand by. Coffee is like ice cold today. Whoa! Yeah, it's been a nice day for the last couple days though. Really getting out there and getting some cool stuff. I guess I'll show you guys maybe a little bit of motionscapes and maybe cut a little early. Unless you guys have any questions. Still haven't got anybody chatting on YouTube yet. I would love that to happen. Also, if you're interested in calling in, just let me know on the IG thread and I'll invite you to a chat. I've been dying to do a double chat while we're on YouTube. So that might be neat to do some like kind of open critiques and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Viewership's kind of going down this week. It's, I don't know, I'm working really hard on these things. It's a little disconcerting when I see a YouTube video that only has 2 views on it that I worked really hard on. So, tell your friends, tell anybody, check this stuff out. It's actually maybe semi-useful sometimes. Hey, I did want to give a shout out to the real Matthew, so I want to play his piece. He does an excellent job with the color grade, very saturated, very cool, with pans, including a truck as well. Has this like feeling of like trains passing by when you pass those columns. And this is his real distant definition of a landscape. So this is your landscape, buddy. I imagine you either you guys live on this like upper floor or this is your home and stuff like that. So it's a great place to take this panoramic pan slash truck. So I really like that vibe that you got going. I love the color touch that you added. It really makes it your own. So it speaks Matthew to me. It speaks Matthew to me because you're such a abstract artist, almost like you see the abstraction in the real world and and embrace it. That's something very unique about your work, actually, straight up from your audition piece. Your audition piece was so interesting, shooting through the sunroof of that car, and it was perhaps one of the best pieces just because it was so surreal and dreamy. But the footage was really good. Sometimes, you know, concentrating on one thing, even if it's like kind of random, if you keep working at it or keep trying to approach that subject in different ways, you just knock it out of the park. And I quoted Frank Capra earlier this week, and he said, you know, if you're having trouble capturing your subject, then you're not close enough. And what he means there is, you know, okay, I'm struggling shooting Oscar, stop shooting me. Oh, I'm sorry. But I'm struggling shooting him, and maybe I need to get a little closer, physically closer. So it could mean get physically closer to your subject or just get to a different angle where it's starting to work for you, right? Take the time with that exploration. But it also could mean maybe I need to be emotionally close to my subject. Maybe I need to see eye to eye with my subject. Great photographs and great video comes from someone that's showing the perspective of the artist. Even in drawing and stuff like that, it's not about how good the drawing is, but the relationship between the viewer and the subject. I feel like that is one of the biggest things, right? So if you're having trouble capturing your subject, you're not close enough. That's a great method to think about. And it's very deep. You could interpret that in many ways. And that's what the concentration's all about. Interpret these assignments to do what you feel. Be the artist. Break the paradigm. Do new things. Yo. Oh! Yeah, it was a last minute start to the real today. Again, got these neighbors talking my ear off about the whole situation out there. And wow. Wow. But, you know, it's improving. Things are getting better. We are very fortunate to have stores with food. At least there's still some food left. I heard we're gonna stop getting as much meat, but that's not about a shortage. That's about like, well, we can't keep so many meat plants open if people are sick, and we don't have ways of judging if they're sick. So it's a good thing right now. And probably a good thing not to eat too much meat too. You know, we're 35 minutes in, folks. This has been a pretty fun show. It's nice that I had like more than 2 viewers today. That was pretty exciting. But still no ninth graders. Ninth grade, where are you? You're film majors, right? I think you are. Show me. Yo, Real Ray! Dude, your senior film is sick. I love it. Watched it last night. And it kept me going, man. I just kept watching. That film. That was a great job. I did send you an email, very thorough. I think I wrote you an essay. Overnight because I was really blown away. And take my critique with a grain of salt, but you know I got to be tough, and I do that because it's important. It's important to critique people in every manner of your thoughts and trying to get stuff out there that really speaks exactly to the core of a concept, okay? And it'd be a disservice to you not to give you that hard critique because I expect you, if you're going to continue this media stuff, you need to go out there and you need to pressure people the same way I'm pressuring you, if not more. You need to dole out the creative beatdown because otherwise we're just gonna like say anything's news. Good. I'm glad, and it comes from the heart. You know, I love you, man. You do fantastic work, and yeah, You're gonna knock it out of the park. And even if you didn't do my critiques, it's just like that mentality of like, we take this seriously. You know, a lot of people think video's a joke, cinema's a joke, it's all just entertainment. No, this is serious stuff, and you can see it right now. We're all depending on video to get things across, right? Well, it's very important that we critique one another when it comes to video, because otherwise, anyone's going to believe your lies. Anyone's going to believe anybody's lies, and that is not good. We cannot have people believing lies in the 2020, right? Yo, the supers. I loved your supers. You had great infographics, man. That was really cool. I That was one of my, actually, I thought that was really on point. And I don't mean to critique anymore, but I think if you take that design that you've created with those supers and kind of like pepper that in throughout the film a little bit more. Oh yeah, because right now your pacing and everything is really working, and I think if you do some tweaks, it'll be a little better. But I think if you then once you get that in stone, once you're happy with where everything is, go nuts with your creativity with that new graphics look that you have. Particularly the sound wave section, you know what I'm talking about. Like take your creative genius that you've built with Photoshop and everything like that and build that into that super. Build that into that sound wave. I think that could be really cool because that's like your climax, you know? It felt like, yeah, it did not feel long. That's the nice thing. Like, I think you could go a little bit longer if you had to, because I was actually watching it at the end. I was kind of like, oh, I want a little bit more. So it did not feel long. It kept going, which was great. So that gives you a little relief to know that you could actually like step away from um, too much talking to like a moment for a moment. You know, give a chance for the film to breathe a little bit will be very advantageous. That's what I always try to do in documentary. You know, like, sometimes you get caught up with the information and there's like a moment where nobody's talking that speaks more to people than the actual words. You know, when I get to see somebody react, or the stress of a reaction or the excitement of a reaction, that sometimes speaks more volumes than like me saying, I'm so happy, you know? And it's like that humanistic aspect. That's another part of our art form. Even in the news, it's like show things that like connect us as humans, show things that connect us in humanity. But dude, that film is a awesome film. You know, I I don't know. It's weird because I almost like I think it's your best film. Better than the C-SPAN films. I think it has the potential to be a real like a showstopper that you should send to film festivals. I'm glad to support you on that too. I'll keep an eye out. But yo, excellent work. Oh, I got a black screen on YouTube. That's not good. Inauguration walkout. Yo, remember this, guys? Remember when you guys walked out of school in 2017? Yeah, we'll end it here. We'll end it with this one. This is when you guys walked out over gun violence and gun control law. Great job. Way to stick to your guns, or not stick to your guns. No, but yo, yeah, you need to do this. You need to test the paradigm. You need to push our politicians. You need to say, if you don't agree with something, you need to speak it. You can't just be complacent, right? There's a lot of crackdown going on nowadays with people's personal rights, you know? So be very wary of that. You know, be very wary. Don't be complacent with people taking things away from you, because it's harder to get those rights back sometimes, right? So, you know, always stand up for yourself. And whether you have to walk out, or you need to like approach a state house, or you need to like tell a politician flat out, you're wrong. Well, we have the right to do that, you know, and we should be doing that. And that's why I talk about critique so heavily, because, you know, when you're getting out there and you're putting stuff out there, you need to be confident in your courage of conviction. Courage of conviction is a very important thing. It's why we are America. It's because we have the right to speak our mind. But you were saying, Tim White. Oh, I love Tim White. Shout out to the real Tim White. I love you, man. Mentioned the term VJ in an old BTS clip I was looking at. What is that? A video jockey. So I could be a DJ, or I could be a video jockey, where I'm like playing different videos. In fact, if you were from my old, old time of MTV, all those hosts, they called them VJs, video jockeys. Just like a DJ, disc jockey, you're a video jockey. Right? Yo. But yeah, I guess you could call it a video journalist too. But I believe, oh yeah, he probably meant video journalist. I'm thinking new age video jockey, but VJ is a thing. VJ DJ, it is a thing. But he probably meant video journalist. But he's hip. I don't know. Maybe he meant video jockey. Tim White's super hip, dude. Dude's on point. Best person to work with. Ugh. There's so many good people to work with in this business. Sometimes you deal with real, people that are a little abrasive and stuff like that. But it's funny because through time, you actually learn to love them. Seriously. I had a director. He was very hard on me. Became one of my best friends. Gave me my best hookups. And it was hard. I thought the guy hated me for years, but he became a very close friend who has been responsible for my success. And I appreciate you big time if you're watching. I don't think you are, but if you ever are, I really appreciate you, mister. See, I call people mister too. Mister. I miss you guys calling me mister all the time. Mister. I gotta go to the bathroom. Mister. Feel like we're on an extended virtual bathroom break with one viewer. He mentioned it as something a journalist starts off as post-college. Mentioned it as something a journalist start. Yeah. I think he probably meant video jockey, perhaps. Because oftentimes if you start in the news business, you're just doing stand-ups. So you're going to go to tons. It's one of the reasons why I didn't want to become a photog in the field, a photog for news, was because I just couldn't stomach the fact that your job right away is you're showing up to house fires every day, or you're showing up to people who just lost their loved ones every day. So you're having to do that every day and be creative about like making that viewable. So you're literally, and then when you have a camera in your hands and you're talking, like I lost my mother-in-law last year. So if you had approached me with a camera and were like, "Oh, how are you feeling about your mother-in-law?" I would have been like, "You're a monster," just because you have a camera in your hand. And not like that camera person is a monster. They're just doing their job and they're trying the best they can. Some are monsters, I guess. We're all a little bit of a beast. We are humans, but it's just a tough situation to be in. So as a VJ, you're going to be good at this though, because you're very mature, you're very reserved, and I think you're kind of person that opens up to people that people would like to open up to. But if you get started in local news, you're going to be going to a lot of devastation right away. House fire this, someone got shot that, drug deal gone wrong here. It's like it sucks. The world is crazy, and we need to cover it. We need to show people that this stuff is going on, because otherwise we think, everything's all happy in my garden. Well, no, it's not, Miss or Mr. Gardener person. Your tomatoes may be ripe, but violence is ripe and flourishing and continuing to grow elsewhere while you're like seeding your cucumbers and your arugula. Um, the world's a chaotic place. So we need to capture it. We need to show people what's going on in the real world. We cannot become complacent. We cannot hide the truth. And that's what you guys were all about in that walkout. Look at you guys. Oh, I'm so proud. I'm so proud when I see kids protesting. I protested a lot. Got hosed down a lot. But I believed in what I was protesting for. and I captured every little bit of it. Wrapped my camera in a trash bag, made it happen. It's history. Which gets me thinking, I have another workstation over here. Oh boy, lots of old workstations. And I got lots of tapes. And I need to pull out those tapes and I need to put up those old protest footage that I had when we were protesting the Iraq War. Jesse Jackson speaking to everybody, and times I'll never forget. And I'd still fight for anybody that's against war. Fight for anybody that I believe in. I'm not gonna fight for like drinking bleach or anything. Yo, Ray, we gotta find the Bleach film. Bleach. Remember? We were selling bleach in 9th grade. We need to bring that back. I think I might just like go get it. Yeah, there's the love. There's the love. Yo, we need the Bleach video. We need the Bleach TV video ASAP. And we should probably start the senior show with it. Mama's Bleach. Yo! That. Oh, God. Who knew? Who knew? You guys were telling the future with that film. We need that film. I know someone has it. I think I'm going to check on Efrel. I think, yeah, Efrel's got it. Efrel! Where are you, Efrel? Efrel, we need that Bleach TV video ASAP. Now. It's going to get like 1 million hits. It's hilarious, man. Oh, man. I was thinking about it last night when I was watching your film, because you show like oh yeah, we used to be so cool making these like funny videos, and I was like, the Bleach video, dude. That's my 90s voice. I know, dude. Oh man, we need the Bleach video. We need it. It's like the most important film into 2020. Yeah, it's amazing. Bleach. Get your mama's bleach. Oh. He's okay, folks. I saved him from his fall. Oh, you know why? Check your timeline. Sometimes if your timeline was at a different frame rate, was it my clips or your clips? If it was some of your older clips, they might be playing back. They might be 60 frames a second, because we used to do that weird thing with MPEG Stream Clip, and I think that used to make them into 60 frames 60 frames interlaced. So when you put it into a 30p timeline, 30 frames per second, it might have doubled the speed automatically. So there might be a setting where you have to right click. If it's in Adobe, you right click, I believe, and you can change the speed. You can manually do that too, but yeah, here's from the older film, so those might be 60. Oh, I just got dropped out of IG, folks. Just got dropped out of IG. It's been an hour. Oh, I know why. Well, yo, what are you gonna do? They dropped me out of IG. Probably because I'm protesting too much. What are you gonna do? But I'll get back at you, Ray. I'll get back at you. This was a fun show. Shout out to the real Ray. Shout out to all my seniors. Get those films done. Send me some rough cuts. I will give you a great critique. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in tomorrow. It's going to be a banger. We're going to have some fun. Yo, you're looking at my comments, but that's okay. We'll go back to the intro. Tappa Film Production House, folks. That's right. This is the place to be. You want to tune in and get that. Get that. Get that film knowledge. Get that distance film education. We're going to make it happen. We're going to drop some virtual shows. We're going to drop some virtual raves, in fact. We're going to have some fun. But, yo, I appreciate you all. I can't wait to see your faces in real life. But, yo, we'll do it virtually right now. Because, you know what? We're digital kings and queens. And we're going to make it happen. So, yo, keep it real out there, folks. Peace!